This is the story of the Indian man who was called insane because he spent over 20 years digging through a mountain with a simple hammer and a chisel, all to break it in half. And if he breaks it, he said he would do it for love. Why would anyone ever commit their life to breaking a mountain? And who is the woman on the other side of that mountain? Night fam, sit back and prepare to be mind blown by this story. And it starts with Dashrath, a farmer who lived in a mountainous village in India. One day he decided to sell his very source of income, his 3 goats.
Please take my goats. I need money, please.
Just so he could buy 2 things. You already know them, a hammer and a chisel. And on that same day, Dashrath began an impossible task. The task of moving mountains by digging. Every day he wakes up very early. He starts digging at 4 until 8 in the morning, so he can still work on the farm. And as soon as he finishes farming by noon, he goes back to the mountain to dig more and more and more. This crazy man, every single day, he doesn't rest from digging until it gets dark. But time flies. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. From a young man doing this, he turned into an old man. Let me remind you that all he has is his hammer and a chisel. And let me remind you that even if this is an animated story, this is a real story. Because of this, his neighbors bullied him, believing he was out of his mind.
What is he even thinking? He's out of control.
Ew, that man is a lunatic.
Even his own brother would tease him.
You were mad. Get lost. I don't have a crazy brother.
No one could truly understand what he was doing. But all those words didn't stop Dashrath from his mission. Who is the woman on the other side of the mountain? How does he love her so much? Well, this is where we reach the sad but inspiring part. Before his journey of moving mountains, Dashrath lived happily with his wife, Falguni. One day, Falguni needed to bring food to him, but he was working on the other side of the mountain, and the only way to reach the other side was to either walk 32 miles around it or climb over it. To save time, Falguni decided to take a risk and climb. Unfortunately, she never reached the other side. She stepped on some loose rocks, fell, and was deeply injured.
Help! Is someone out there? Help me, please! I don't want to die.
Dashrath found his poor wife, who needed serious medical attention, in tears, scared. He stayed with the love of his life in his arms while they waited for a doctor.
The doctor will be here soon, honey. Stay with me, please.
They waited for a long time. Seconds turned to minutes, minutes to hours. Tear by tear, with her breath becoming more and more shallow because of the location of their village, because of the mountain. No doctor came until the next morning, and by then it was too late. People say love can move mountains, but in this case, the mountain took away his love.
Honey, no. Please don't leave me. I love you.
That was when he knew the only right thing to do. He sold his goats, bought the hammer and chisel, and started digging into the mountain so he could carve a path. Even if his wife was already dead, this dedicated man did it for the people in his village, so they would never face his fate. The same people who didn't believe in him, he did it so no one would ever need to climb over the mountain risking their lives. He did it so doctors would reach their village in case of emergencies. He did it so no one would suffer the way his wife did. And after 22 years of digging all on his own, this is how it looks now. A mountain turned into 2. He is the man who moved mountains, reminding us that anyone in this world can accomplish the impossible. All they need is love, bigger than a mountain.